What's going on? You're listening to the Roundup Podcast with James Zalnicki and Victor Marte. It's a Wednesday morning, 9 a.m. Got a ton of snow out there.
I know, it's
and
insane.
I, for one, am sick of this goddamn weather, man.
Oh, you're not the only one.
You know, like, I know a lot of people, at least students, right? They get snow, and we're going, oh, you know, dude, no school is sick. I'm not even at that point. Like, I'd rather have no snow in class than than have it the other way around.
Yeah.
I don't know. That band was the Men Singers.
Yeah.
I discovered them actually walking to jiu-jitsu the other day, and it popped up on Spotify. And I was like, wow, I like this a lot. It's fairly new, too. Apparently their last album is supposed to be a quote, banger.
Yeah.
So I'll take that for what it is. I'm going to check them out.
You should definitely check them out.
Yeah.
So.
Can you do me a favor? Can you grab me some of those tissues up there?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, we had a nice bunch of us went to the bar last night. It was what do they call it? Happy hour? No. Beat the clock or whatever. The beer's terrible. Thank you, Vic.
At first, it wasn't bad. Then it's like,
Yeah,
then you know you feel the taste and difference.
yeah. I mean, there's a reason why they're giving you beer for 50 cents. It's not
Yeah.
because it's like, I'm granted, it's all profit, but I don't know.
Yeah.
My
My favorite moment was when we all showed up to the bar. We're all like we're all in the bar, and the bartender just turns around and is like, "Whoa, I didn't see you guys coming in."
Yeah, and then they immediately go, "Oh, snow day." And I'm like,
Yep.
Yeah, snow day. Yeah,
Yeah.
funny how I don't know. It's when you're a kid, you get a snow day. It's
Yeah.
dude, let's go get some sodas and play some video games.
Now it's, dude, let's go to the bar.
Yeah, I mean it's
Oh, how fast
True.
we grew up.
yeah.
Ugh.
Sorry, drinking some water. I want to talk about one thing. So there's this. So right, the reason why I'm even like alive right now, or whenever I'm feeling good the next day,
Yeah.
it's because of one factor. It's the end of the night. I go to Quick Check and I get a fat sandwich, and all those carbs just soak up the booze, and I'm fine the next morning. Like I'm feeling great right now.
Yeah.
And every time I go there, when I got some alcohol in me, I'm pretty ballsy with whatever sandwich I get. Like that's when there are some times where, to this day, right? There's this one legendary sandwich I made, but I don't know the ingredients. Like I'll make the sandwich, and then and I'm obviously drunk, so I'm like, this is amazing, and I'm never able to recreate it. And it was with Alex Samelo and Justin Davis, actually. This was 2-3 years ago. I'm in my freshman year, and I go to Quick Check, and they had one too many sodas in me.
Yeah.
I go there, and I make a sandwich, and I know it involved like chicken cutlets or something. It was like chicken fingers were involved, lettuce, mayo. I don't know the rest, but it was incredible. Last night, I think I might have topped it.
Do you remember it though?
Yes, I actually do kind of remember. So it was. And then these orders get wild. So I got it was a cheesesteak. It was a BYO cheesesteak, which I don't know what that is.
BYOG.
So if you go into their signature cheesesteak section, I'm gonna look that up.
I had
Actually.
a jalapeno cheesesteak, by the way, last night.
How was really?
Yeah.
Last night you did?
Yeah.
See, like when you're drunk, you're just so courageous with what you're ordering.
Yeah.
I want to look up. Yeah, I'm gonna look this up quick. BYO cheesesteak. I have no idea what that stands for. It's at Quick Check, but that's that was one of the signature sandwiches you can get. No,
Yeah.
I don't know what. Who knows? I don't know. I got a cheesesteak.
Yeah.
I get mayonnaise, barbecue sauce, banana peppers. So there was another kind of pepper, and there was something else. I think it was lettuce. That's all I got on it. It was delicious. This is one of the best drunken sandwiches I've ever gotten.
Oh.
See, and that's actually my buddy back home, at least for me. And I know,
which one?
Phil, you can't put barbecue sauce in a cheesesteak, but nonetheless, my buddy Sean, he's not in the fantasy football league, but he used to get Sweet Baby Ray's in his cheesesteaks back home, and just for some reason I had this instinct, I'm gonna get barbecue sauce on it. So next time you're drunk, think about that one. Think about it, and then two kinds of peppers.
That.
Yeah,
I've actually had that before.
and I think normally I try to mix up the veggies. Like I'll be like, okay, peppers and onions and all. I just went straight peppers. The banana peppers were a game changer. That's now a part of my drunken arsenal.
Yeah.
When I'm going to get a sandwich drunk, that's now like my go-to is banana
Yeah.
peppers because I mean, I don't even know what they are. And they're almost like pickled. I don't know. It was wild. It was amazing, and yeah, that's my right. I also got some cheese wedges too.
Yeah.
So
last night actually, I from being at the bar, for some unknown reason, it just hit me to like back in high school. I used to like write a lot of songs.
Yeah.
I never like tracked any of it. I wish I did, but I never had friends who were gifted musically. So, I always like write down lyrics. I haven't done that since probably since senior year of high school. Last night, something just hit me, and it was like,
when you were drunk,
yeah,
okay,
something just hit me, and I was like, this could actually be very catchy, and like. I just stood. We were like hanging around in one specific spot in the bar, and then I like went to a little corner, pulled out my phone, just opened up notes, and I just began typing away, just whatever, saying it over and over in my head, and just thinking, oh, that doesn't sound great. I can maybe change this and that, and like I did most of it last night, and then I did the editing of it today in the morning while prepping for this show, and. I actually have a full-fledged intro, intro, verse, chorus.
Yeah, when we hear the chorus, give me the hook. You don't have to actually sing it or anything.
Yeah.
You don't have to share it if you don't want to. But now, is it kind of like poetry in a way? Would you say? I mean, I'm sure anything could be poetry.
Well, anything could be poetry, but
yeah,
I'd say so. The chorus I wrote down is this: in the end, I'll dream to be my own master. If I want to be my own person, I have to understand that who I'm meant to be. To end the rage, I must understand the storm will never cease in the end. The depression, the disease that's plagued me. It's all about trying to find who. It's all about trying to be a different person.
That's some good stuff.
Yeah.
Is this meant for like a heavy metal type? I've always told you that. You know, you're so into music and you're so into metal and things like that. I never knew why you didn't. I mean, even if you don't, I don't know. I mean,
actually, I have a funny story. So this is, I think I still look back to this as one of the cringiest names I've ever come up with for a band. Back when I was like maybe 14 or 15, I was like, this is when I was like fully in like the I would say, I don't know, emo stage or something.
Yep.
One day I was thinking, you know, I want to come up with a band name. And I was like, what's the most edgiest thing I could come up with? And this, by far, I still cringe at this name. I will never, like, just the thought of me thinking, oh, this is a good band name. I'm like, what were you thinking? Tell me this does not sound like a 14-year-old cringe. I'm so emo right now.
Know me.
Black Roses Wilt.
It's true. What the hell is wilt?
Like the roses dying.
Okay, that is some pretty.
Dude,
it would catch on. Well, it's funny. I always felt like to get like a trendy band name, it's all about like, I don't know, like adjective, noun. I don't know, like it's like the grungy spiders, or you just have some stupid
stick to your guns.
I always wonder that, or even like, I know I've asked you before, why don't you dabble with guitar?
I do have a guitar, right? And that's a fun fact how I actually got that guitar. I got it for free. Well, not for free, but I'd say there was a good $60 down the drain from it, and it was a really good new guitar too. I want to. I definitely want to. I'm gonna try my best to start getting into it. When I go back home.
Do you know anyone on campus who plays a guitar?
My buddy.
What about drums? Well, drums are also a little more expensive.
Well, drums is really hard, like just because it's a lot of hand-eye coordination. But I'm not saying
I know some people like my buddy Josh. He used to play drums.
Yeah, your buddy Ethan also does too.
But he does a lot of different. He does like every instrument, but they're kick ass, man.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Burr, he's big into. I'm over here acting like I'm on a personal level with him now, but he talks on his podcast a lot where he He's always drumming. I think drummers, it's like so much different. I don't know. I feel like the vibe with a drummer,
Yeah.
it's like I don't know. You're just banging on some
Percussion.
yeah.
And it really is one of those like interesting things where it's like, I can like the drumming is it's a lot more intricate than a lot of people think, especially when you go into higher like into like heavier style of music where it's more you're using more drums than you expect. Like everybody thinks, oh, I'll just use a simple snare
yeah,
drum
man.
and
When you
stuff.
go from stage 1 in a rock band to stage 2, it's a no. It's well, because I mean, even just to sit there and like keep a beat and then to like mix it up and like you're doing that with your foot while you're hitting all the other things. I mean, I tried guitar once, but this is back 5th grade, and my teacher, I was super impatient. I was like, and I was like going through a heavy AC/DC phase and stuff like that. I just wanted to rock out.
Yeah.
And I started going to lessons with my brother. And, my buddies or Ethan was learning at the same time.
Yeah.
Obviously, it stuck with him, but he was learning tablature.
Mm-hmm.
And I was learning notes at the time. I mean, at this point, he knows all notes and things. But, tab is a lot easier to pick up. It's quicker. It's not the correct way to learn. So my teacher was teaching me notes, like had a note read, and it was taking me it was forever. Like it was taking me. I think after 2 months, I hadn't passed like the C scale, or like the whatever the scale is, and I reached a certain point. I was like, dude, screw this. Like this is annoying. This is boring.
Yeah.
And it never clicked. Well, and I think it's important, like growing up, to try all these different things.
Yeah.
And to see what clicks, and you don't know what your thing is unless you try a bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I could definitively say, walking away from that, like I'm not a musician. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not a musical guy. But one thing I did want to comment on was you talking about how you started doing the songwriting when you were drunk. It's weird because like there's a certain level of intoxication.
Yeah.
Right. And it can be either with with drinking or with something else. Right. Not something else heavy, but where it's like you gotta get this free. Your thoughts are getting sort of flow a lot easier in a weird way. Like when you're this certain level of drunk, it's all. At least for me, I always felt like it was easy to write because it's just like not songwriting, but just writing in general. Because it's weird. Like you're not constrained. You're not constrained. That's not a term. What am I thinking of? What's the word I'm thinking of? Constraint. You're not held down by these weird.
I know the word you're thinking of.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not held down by these weird like social thing. I don't know. Whatever it may be, you're just your thoughts flow a lot easier. And but then that's a fine line because then you have one more drink and then it's like you're just not even there. You know what I mean? But so that's probably why. I mean, that's why and you're feeling confident, right?
Yeah.
The booze makes you feel confident, so you're like, oh, I can do this, man.
Yeah.
And you just flow it out.
Yeah.
And then what you did, right? And then the next morning you go and edit it up.
Yeah.
That's a pretty common strategy.
And like one of the things that I realized why songwriting was like one of the most important things that really helped me out a lot back in high school was the fact that it helps me like just just being able to put like pen to paper or fingers to notes is just kind of like I'm letting out a lot of things I'm like keeping inside. Yeah.
It's good to express yourself, and it's also, I don't know, it's good to use your brain. You know what I mean? That might sound stupid and corny, but it's good to get that thing working a little bit. And I was gonna say something else. I lost my train of thought, but I mean that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, even if you don't, right? Even if it doesn't turn into an actual song. Yeah. Then at that point you can convert it to some poetry or something. Yeah. I tried poetry earlier this year. I was reading. I think it's super important to have a variety, just like we both have a variety of music taste. I think it's important to have a variety in which you read. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna listen to some poetry, or just read poetry. Yeah. So I checked out. Can't think of the guy's name. He was Mr. White and. It was Mr. White and Reservoir Dogs. Michael Madsen. Yeah. I was reading his poetry, which and by poetry, I don't know, they say maybe some songwriting. Mm-hmm. It's got that like arrogant, kind of vibe to it, and it's
Yeah.
like it's supposed to be the flower represents, death or whatever stupid bullshit it might be. This, however, Michael Madsen's poetry it was badass. I should honestly lend it to you just so you can read a couple.
Yeah.
It's badass.
I
Like
actually have,
it's so like the dude. I mean, he's done like jail time. He's
Yeah.
a hard guy. And in terms of like Hollywood, not that I would. He's like you can't throw him into the mix with Hollywood because he's such a maverick. Like he doesn't get jobs anymore. He doesn't get offers because he doesn't play Hollywood.
Yeah.
And he's an absolute badass.
One of my
Like, there's a reason why he only really does
Yeah.
Tarantino films. Like it's because Tarantino gives him work because he likes him, but no one else likes him because he's just a badass. Like you cannot in Hollywood. It's the opposite of badass, and like they just can't handle him.
One of my favorite books that I actually have is it's actually just a collection. It was a gift from my dad. It was a collection of poetry, and a lot of the poetry inside of it is dealing with either love, death, and sort of legacies. And by far one of my favorite ones is the poetry for Ramses II, or Osmandius. Sorry, that's the correct name. And it's one of the greatest. It's one of the most interesting ones. I can actually remember it. As a traveler, I wandered through the desert, and I came across a statue, broken down and withered. And there was inscriptions, and I read the inscriptions under it. Behold me, I am Osmandius, King of Kings. And
who was the poet?
It
It was like an old. It's like an old poem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's very old, but it deals with just the fact that we are so in tune with creating this legacy for ourselves, when in the end nothing really matters because because time is our greatest opponent. Everything will just be one grain of sand in the dust.
Yeah. I'm gonna screenshot or later after this and take a picture of.
Yeah, and I'll find the one I'm thinking of.
Because this, it's such a relief almost in a sense. Because like, there's not really any. I mean, you can look into it, you can read between the lines, but this poetry, it's all about like, not that this makes anything substantially cooler, but it's all about like jail time, like when he was a kid, he was robberies. And it's about like sex and just drugs. Like it's very crass and uncensored. It's really cool. But why don't we go into break, and then when we come back, we'll talk about we'll talk some Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Me and Vic had a nice conversation last night. I want to continue today. So
all right, we'll see you guys right after this break.
Hi, this is your Golden Gup. Join me for a celebration of America's classic pop music on the Tailfin Turntable, Sundays at 12 noon, here where great music still lives.
And this is me, Lulu. Stick around as I join Gup for Still Rockin', first generation rock and roll plus today's artists who share the passion on WNTI.org.
Backed by popular demand, the hottest Irish acoustic group on the planet, Lunasa, returns to Centenary Stage Company on Saturday, March 24th at 8 p.m. Hi, this is Chris Young, inviting you to enjoy one of the most popular bands on the international Celtic music scene. Featuring a diverse selection of original compositions and melodies from Celtic regions, Lunasa mixes traditional instruments with bass and guitar, propelling Irish acoustic music into new territory. Be sure to join us early for Irish dancing in the lobby with An Clare School of Irish Dance. Tickets for Lunasa are $30 in advance, $5 more on the day of the performance. They're available at centenarystageco.org or by phone at 908-979-0900. Don't miss Lunasa, Saturday, March 24th, 8 p.m. at Centenary Stage Company's Lackland Performing Arts Center.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Roundup Podcast with James Dow, Nicky Victor Marte. That was Kenny Loggins. Or is it Loggins?
Loggins.
Man, I love that jam. Body's working over. And the music video is hysterical. not that one. Have you seen the actual music video?
No, I actually haven't.
Pop that on real quick because it's worth a watch because it's just your perfect 1980s music video.
Yeah.
And what I think is kind of funny about it is this is before some of the PC stuff existed.
Yeah.
So you watch that music video and the concept of the song's like these girls are playing with the boys right now. It's real. And you watch the video and it's just like you can plug it in too. I don't mind jamming to it a little bit. Just keep it low. But it's like the girls are playing with the boys and they're playing volleyball and the guys are just smoking them. Like the guys are just crushing them in volleyball. And and I was just thinking if this music video came out today, you get torched.
Yeah.
It'd say, what are you saying? Women can't play volleyball? And then you get Kenny Loggins in the back, snapping his fingers and just being a creep. Man, I love this song.
Great song. I'm a big fan of Kenny Loggins on the Top Gun soundtrack.
Yeah, you can't beat that soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's so 80s. Yeah, you see they're all warming up. They're all wearing, doing jumping jacks and getting ready. Ready? Just wait till the game starts. I love this music video. And the reason why it got me to watch it, they start playing, and it's just the dudes are just taking them on. It's like girls versus boys, volleyball game, gym class. I don't know if this is gym class. And you see the style.
Yeah.
They're all wearing like sweaters for some reason, sweater vests while they're playing volleyball. Yeah. Playing with the boys, baby. Yeah, you can turn it off if you want. But, so I want to talk about. So I roll up last night before we go to the bar. Me and Nicholas come down to your room.
Yeah.
To get you guys. We head out. My man Vic over here is watching probably one of my top 3 favorite shows. I mean, there was no discussion on it. Like there was no previous. Hey Vic, check this show. I might have referenced it once or twice, but I don't know if that. I don't know if that was why you started watching it. But I remember when I was a kid. There was a show called Fight Quest. It's on Discover.
I never knew about this show,
Discovery
to be
Channel.
honest.
Yeah, and it was awesome. And it only lasted one season. Look at 8 episodes, 8 to 10. And it's because, so the concept of the show is you have 2 guys, 2 martial artists, 2 mixed martial artists from the U.S., one of which was actually in the UFC. I don't think he was very good. I get like 2 or 3 fights, maybe 1 and 2. Like he was not good. The other one would never actually fought professionally, did some amateur fights. I forgot their names. And the concept of the show is these guys are going to travel around the world, explore all the various martial arts out there, and learn them in their home country. And they would train for I think it was a week, 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And after their training, they would fight. They'd have a professional fight in that corresponding martial art. I roll up. Vic's watching the Muay Thai one. Yeah. Is that the first one you've seen?
Yeah,
they're awesome.
Yeah.
They're all on YouTube, too. I think I found a website you can find it for free. I highly recommend watching them because they're so cool.
I'm going to watch all of them.
They're so cool. I mean, some of the later ones are stupid, like the Aikido one. I think Aikido, that was like the martial art that's... Because it definitely shows you which martial arts are practical and which ones aren't.
Like Muay Thai is actually...
It's practical.
It was meant to be used on a battlefield.
Yeah, exactly. It's you can totally throw, throw like a knee and elbows and punches on the street, but not that you're looking to fight people.
Oh, yeah.
Let me open up the episode list because I don't remember which one it was.
Here's my draft. Let's see if my draft stock goes up.
There it is. There we go. That's a drain too. Okay, so let's see. They have a couple of them. So they have the first one is they learn kung fu in the mountains of China. And it's always cool too because they have the two characters on it, the 2 guys involved.
Doug and Jimmy,
and they always take different paths. So I think in the Muay Thai one
goes the more traditional route,
and the other one goes the more.
Like,
I think Jimmy does which one does the more traditional one?
I think it was Jimmy. It's the one that didn't have any professional background with it.
One of the coolest ones. It might have been that one. Jimmy, so he's the little guy. He's the one, right? He was the one who's and he did.
He's the one that wasn't bald.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he's the smaller one, and he's the one who I don't think fought. I think he did some amateur boxing matches, but that was about it. He one of them. He does a traditional route with one of the arts, and the training is you're gonna kick a tree. for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And because they actually believed that, or a lot of people believe, and it's true, if you just start pounding on a tree or something, it would have these little breaks in your knuckles, and they would actually come back harder.
Yeah.
It's true, but it's obviously extremely flawed.
Yeah.
So Jimmy, I'm pretty sure he couldn't even do the fight at the end of the training. I forgot which one it was. It was unreal though, and it's showing footage, and he's just kicking a tree repetitively, and you can tell in every kick you're like, oh Jesus, because it's there's no give to it. Obviously, we all know what a damn tree is. And his foot or his shin swelled up so bad. I'm pretty sure he tried to fight, but he couldn't. But no, it's a great show.
Yeah.
How far into the Muay Thai one are you?
I'm almost done. I'm right at the part where they're about to do where they're starting their professional.
And
fight.
it's really cool. It's unstaged. Spoiler alert: they get their asses kicked in every one they do.
Yeah,
because they're only training for a week, 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and some of them they have previous training, and I know the jiu-jitsu one. Like Doug is a little better off because I think he's like a purple belt. He'd done some training before. The boxing one, that one they go to Mexico for that one. Yeah, and they both box. But some of the other ones, like including Muay Thai, they just get their asses kicked.
And it's because like Muay Thai, it's a much more different. It's a very different competitive sport than a lot of people realize, or professional fighting style than people realize, just because of the fact that and even watching that things where it's like even just hearing like the Muay Thai like masters talk, just hearing them say certain things, I'm like, I can apply that to how I'm like, I'll tell a lot of things I'm doing.
That's what it's about, you know. And that's the cool part about martial arts, and it's so cerebral. And I know I use that a lot with jiu-jitsu, but they're all the same way.
Yeah, and it's like it's insane. It's like, and going back to what I was saying, it's just the fact that it's a very different style of martial arts where, a lot of martial arts they only teach you to use your hands and you have kickboxing where it's like it'll teach you to use your feet, but Muay Thai, it's a lot different because you're using every part of your body as a weapon. Your elbow does major damage, and you can easily just go into a fight just using your elbow, and you can most likely win. And
it's my thing too, right? Even if you're not gonna be like competing in that martial art or looking to fight, there's a lot of people. I know, Joe Rogan's a big guy on it. Steve Maxwell. A lot of people do support the idea that you should train like a fighter. Yeah. Because fighters, it's exciting and fun. Yeah. Right? What's better than just punching a bag? Few things are better than just throwing punches, and in jiu-jitsu, you're choking people out. Like, it really feeds that primitive kind of nature, and it's really nice. Like, it feels great. Even when I rolled up on Monday, because Vic had his Muay Thai class before I had my jiu-jitsu class. And what you guys were doing sit-ups and you're getting hit with pads, like that's good stuff. Yeah, and it's like some people need that in their life. You need some. This might sound wrong. It's nice to have some violence in your life. Not saying you should go start swinging on people, but it's that hour you're in class, you can get some of that aggression out and get some of the emotions out, and I could talk to you for hours about this kind of stuff.
We'll say this every single time, I don't know about you, but for me, when I'm walking, somebody asked me last night, "Oh, you walk there?" I'm like, "Yeah, I walk there because I need to. Walking there helps me clear my mind because when you go in to train with this, it's like you need to be mentally prepared and not." Was
someone critiquing you for walking there? Oh, good. Because if anyone said that they had a problem with you walking, that's probably a quarter mile.
No, it's
anyone who complains, dude. You're gonna walk there? It's a quarter mile. You can't. Well, you can't. So it's
but
all right, good. As long as they weren't ripping on you for walking there,
they weren't critiquing.
It's maybe an eighth of a mile.
Yeah,
I'd say it's shorter than a quarter mile.
They weren't critiquing, but it was mostly I had to explain. I explained myself why I'd rather just walk there, and then why I prefer to is because I want to while I walk there, I clear my mind and just so that I'm mentally prepared to go in because all I really want to do is just learn what I want to learn, not focus on anything stupid.
It's true. Because, with jiu-jitsu, the past, it was probably 2 weeks ago, I kind of had, because it kind of works in cycles. Sometimes things will click, things won't click. Yeah. And, I kind of plateaued, and I had this really bad class. I think it was last Monday. Monday. And I had this class, and I was just tired. I hadn't been sleeping well. I roll up, and I was thinking too much, and it was terrible. Like probably the worst roll, some of the worst rolls I've had in my entire time being there. And the cool part is, right, at least with jiu-jitsu, is every time, every class, because you're sparring or you're rolling, and it's like you're always kind of taking these tests every class. And there's no hiding behind results. Like that's the cool part, and that's one of the things I mentioned to you I love about it, right? Like you play a sport or basketball, and you're like, I was 2 for 5, and you know I think I had a decent game. Jiu-jitsu or martial arts, I mean, it's like you have to get choked out or you didn't. Yeah, you know. And so I rolled up last Monday, and as soon as after class, I was like, okay, what was something went horribly wrong today? Anyway, what the hell why did I take such a big step back? But it's the thing, it's never really a step back because you're able to sit there and I have that little pad. I don't know if I've showed you. After every class, I record everything I do so I can just keep my head in it.
And I'm starting to pick up that same thing that you
That's what you got to do.
Yeah, and I shadow box whenever I'm like looking at myself in the mirror. I'll shadow box and like I'll work on like getting my covers right for certain basic like strikes.
Yeah, I mean it's just such a cool thing, and it's such a foreign, like at least for me, up until like a year ago in June, or 9 months ago, I wasn't like I'd never really done something like this. Yeah. So it's just a cool change of pace. But what I was saying, right? So I walked away Monday, and I was like, okay, last Monday, it's like, well, what went wrong? And it was 100% my mentality. I went into it, I was thinking too much. Right, and this is going off what you were saying, how you got to get in the right mindset. I was thinking too much. I was tired. I just wasn't into it. Right, I was going in and I was thinking about what I was going to do before I'd done it. Yeah. Which it's weird because you have to have this game plan down and you have to have a strategy. Yeah. But in the same token, if you, there was a quote I was reading in this book I got. It's like if you think you're late. If you're late, you rely on strength. If you rely on strength, you tire. If you tire, you die. Like that was like it's just such, I don't know, it's an incredible thing.
And like even that, like I can also apply to that just with how you were feeling. I did the same thing on Monday when I went in to work out. I was not feeling like in the right mindset to do my workout, and I felt like I had a very bad workout. And like I just tried, and after like I thought about that, I was like, I can't do the same thing for Muay Thai. I got to go in blank line and just work on and just think about what I want to do and what I want to improve on.
Yeah, I mean, and it sounds corny, but you're not going to learn and progress unless you have those days. Yeah. Like, because if you don't, if I had never had that really bad day last Monday, I never would have realized, I never would have reinforced the idea of how important it is to have the right mindset. Like you didn't have those step backs to make leaps forward. So, and it sounds corny, but it's true.
And again, it goes back to what me and you were having this discussion last night at the bar. It's just jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, every form of martial arts. It's not about like going out and just acting violent. It's about self-defense and betterment of one's own mind. It's actually about trying to find enlightenment no matter what.
Oh yeah, and I was saying earlier, right? Is a lot of people think you should train like a fighter because it's healthy, right, and you're working your cardio. And one thing I was going to say to you yesterday, right, is or earlier this morning when you were talking about you want to kind of start doing some different things in the gym. Yeah, like martial arts, it's all cardio. Like that's the thing. People think like if you want to knock people out, bro, you gotta sit there and do all these crazy 3-rep exercises. Yeah. No, you really knocking someone out. It's all timing and technique. Yeah, it's all catching them at the right time.
Dude, for professional Muay Thai, and I'm positive it's also the same thing for professional jiu-jitsu. It's not about how fast you can get a knockout or something like that. They grade you on how well your technique is.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, like the jiu-jitsu tournament stuff, it's all points, and some of them are different.
Same with Muay Thai. It's like they give you points for.
And, it's like, I mean, and there's also this one theory I was reading about. Not a theory, really. It's just an idea, right? Because it's what causes a knockout, right? And everyone thinks it's how hard you punch, which is kind of true. But in a large degree, it's when you glimpse something, when you're caught with something that you didn't expect or you didn't see. Yeah. They're one of the reasons why Nate Diaz, the UFC fighter, one of the reasons why the dude's got a hard chin, and people are like, what makes a hard chin? And there's all what makes you be able to withstand hard punches? And there's so many different ideas. Like, okay, you have a thick neck, and you have all these different things. But one of them, because he's really is like an active observer in a way. I guess I don't know if that's the right way I would describe it, but he's never caught with something he's not seeing. Like, because like if I'm sitting here, like remember when they had that stupid remember when kids were running around doing the knockout game? Remember that? When people run up from behind, they just knock people out. The reason why they was knocking people out, not because these kids had like hard punches. It's because they didn't see it coming. Yeah. It's they're walking and they're
spatial awareness.
It's like this crazy like out of nowhere you're getting clocked. Yeah. And it's like this shock and it knocks you out. So and a lot of time that's a big theory behind like knockouts in professional sports or in fights. It's like when you don't see it coming, you're not prepping for it really, so you're just gonna get just kind of shocked with it. But there's also another thing I want to talk to you was you know, and to a degree, I think it's like, you know, obviously there's MMA out there, but even if you're not, like if you're really learning one discipline, is also there's a lot of things I feel like you can take from other disciplines. Yeah. Like even if I'm not practicing boxing, I feel like there's things from boxing I can kind of take and convert to like jiu-jitsu concepts and things like that.
And
like
and we had this discussion also. It's just like we were talking sort of about the Muay Thai clinch and like what would somebody in your perspective do if I'm getting close to you?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was telling you yesterday. So Victor was showing me like there was like a sequence you guys had learned, and Victor was like, oh, like what would someone from jiu-jitsu do? Not that we could say I'm like one of the jiu-jitsu guys, but you know, what would someone who wants to grapple do? And I was saying, like, I mean, the first thing, and that's one of the issues, like the clinch, is the minute you kind of grip, the minute you start playing the grip game with a jiu-jitsu guy, they're going to be like, all right, let's go to the ground, and then that's when you would be effed. So I think like you'd want to keep your distance and strike, and not get taken to the ground. Because the minute like you pull the clinch, like you're just I'm just gonna try to pull guard. At least that's what I would.
Granted, the Muay Thai clinch is one of the most deadliest clinches on the face of the earth.
The minute you get in that clinch and you're getting a knee to the face, it's all over.
But I think you'll agree with me, is that jiu-jitsu and just any grappling based like fighting or martial arts has a good self-defense to it. Yeah,
I mean it's interesting because like with jiu-jitsu. You know, people talk about how like anyone, like the practitioners, the guys who are the black belts are gonna be like, this is the martial art to learn. Yeah. I don't know if I really subscribe to that theory because, right, the idea is like, 80% of street fights end up on the ground. Yeah. Right. That's like the study they'll cite or the statistic, but it's like, okay, it's also pavement. Yeah. Like you're not rolling on a mat, you're gonna be rolling on pavement, so it's gonna be a little different. I mean, granted, it can definitely. There's one video I'll show you real quick. It's one of the coaches actually showing it.
100% of all street fights start standing.
Yeah, that's true. And it's, I mean, like, watch this video quick so you can pop this on. Yeah. All right, so put that on the aux and full screen that one and watch that. It's this is a video on YouTube called it's like there's a basketball. They're playing like for like a pickup game of basketball, the YMCA. Some thug starts getting into some guy's face, and this guy's a jiu-jitsu guy. Yeah. You can fast forward a little bit. All right, so these guys, and so anyways, this thug's, running his mouth, and the jiu-jitsu guy's like, hey, listen, I don't want trouble, I'm not trying to fight. And another example of just how disciplined this guy is. It's jiu-jitsu's not about like just going out and kicking someone's ass, right? So the thug's like running his mouth. Yeah, swings down. Watch this, ready? Jiu-jitsu guy brings him to the ground, just knows exactly what he's doing. The minute this goes to the ground, you just see this like, wow, this guy knows what he's doing, right? And this is an example, right? And he's, right, he gets him in like a triangle, and he's like, he tries the triangle out, right? That's not working.
He's got full control of his body.
Yeah, so he gets him in. They're going for the arm bar. Goes right for a heel hook. Yeah. Right, and this guy's like, and at this point, and you see the jiu-jitsu guys going, listen, man, I'll break your ankle. He's like, is that a heel hook like that? F's you up. Like you're not allowed to. You're not in most competitions, unless you're like a high black belt, you can't use heel hooks because they F you up. All it takes is like one movement. Yeah. And it's not even your heel, it's your knee. Your knee's gonna pop out. And that was a cool video I watched the other day, and it was like, that's an example of when jiu-jitsu would be practical and ever has succeeded. But nonetheless, let's move on. Yeah. Want to go to a short break real quick, and then we'll come back and I want to talk about the Patriots. Yeah. I'm actually got an article coming out I want to talk about. So, all right, we'll be back.
Coming to the Sherman Theater on Main Street, Stroudsburg, come jam with the Golden Gate Wingmen Saturday, March 24th. Celebrate 50 years of Led Zeppelin with Zoso, Friday, March 30th. Don't miss Bush Rock Stroudsburg, Wednesday, April 11th. Buck Cherry returns to the Sherman Friday, April 13th. Then it's Eagle Mania, the world's greatest Eagles tribute band, Saturday, May 12th. Tickets on sale at ShermanTheater.com, Ticketfly.com, and the Sherman Theater box office 570-420-2808.
Here is Art Charlton with this week's edition of Warren County Wanderings.
Larry Campbell and Teresa Williams return to Royce Hall Friday night. He's a multi-instrumentalist, singer-songwriter. She's a singer-guitarist, and they're a duo that's not to be missed. Want to get outdoors? There are group hikes along the former Warren Railroad and on the Paulinskill Valley Trail on Saturday. Plus, this weekend is the 2-day Pequest Open House and Sportsman's Flea Market at the Pequest Trout Hatchery and Natural Resource Education Center. Free and held rain or shine. Four Sisters Winery holds another barefoot grape stomping party Saturday afternoon, while Brook Hollow Winery has a murder mystery dinner fundraiser for the Frieden Educational Foundation Saturday night. Villa Milagro Vineyards holds a couple more sessions of its boot camp for your taste buds, both weekend days. Backed by popular demand, Lunasa, the hottest Irish acoustic group on the planet, returns to the Centenary stage at the Lackland Performing Arts Center Saturday night. Lunasa's novel arrangements and unique musical approaches create a singular sound that has propelled Irish acoustic music into exciting new territory. It's the final weekend for the Country Gate Players production of Sister Act, a divine musical comedy, with shows Saturday night and Sunday matinee before the curtain falls. Also Sunday afternoon, it's the third and final installment of this year's Centenary Stage Company Dance Fest, as Nimbus Dance Works present Esther, an edgy retelling of the First Testament tale of gender, power, and seduction, with full glam rock concept verve. And the Hendrik Merkins Quartet, led by a virtuoso on both the chromatic harmonica and the vibraphone, performs at Rutherford Hall. Plus, there are plenty of Easter-themed events for kids and adults alike. You'll find them in Warren County Wanderings, your weekly listing of fun at explorewarren.org. Happy wanderings.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Roundup Podcast with James Hour, Nicky Victor Marte. It's 9:45 a.m. It looks like Antarctica out there right now.
Yeah, I know.
Hopefully the power doesn't go out again.
Yeah, hopefully.
But, yeah, man, that was like chaotic. Like I talked about that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But when this school lost power, it was like a refugee camp. I mean, there were people sleeping on these chairs out here. It was wild. So Vic, you want to talk about real quick?
So one of the videos I actually did, I was watching is the history of Muay Thai, and one of the coolest stories I ever heard was, so the Kingdom of Siam, which is where Thailand is now, was always under constant like siege of war by one of the neighboring countries of Burma, and so the Burmese army managed to capture this one city, and they took everyone as slaves, but they mostly captured a lot of the Thai boxers, and they captured one of the best Thai boxers, one of the best Muay Thai practitioners, and he was brought forth in front of the king, and he said, I want to see how well you can fight. I want to see the Muay Thai fighting style, how well it will do up against a Burmese boxer.
Yeah. And
so they had a fight in front of the king of Burma, and the Muay Thai practitioner just wiped the floor within 2 seconds. He knocked out the Burmese boxer.
I mean, even when you think about boxing doesn't utilize kicks.
Yeah.
Right off the bat there.
Yeah.
Oh, totally different.
And then the king was like, okay, since you were able to knock out my best boxer, how about knocking out 9 guys? If you are able to fight and defeat 9 other Burmese boxers in a row with no rest period, you can earn your freedom. And he does that. He wipes the floor with
awesome.
with 10 people, just back to back. And the king of Burma had so much respect for the Thai boxer that he said that you are blessed with venom.
That's really
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's a pretty badass compliment. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you're blessed with venom. You
Yeah.
have venom. It's crazy too. I mean, over there in Thailand, it's the national sport. Everybody, every like dude. I don't know. I mean, women do it too,
Yeah.
but every son, I'm pretty sure it's almost like a requirement. It's like at the age of 6, you're gonna learn how to Thai box.
Yeah.
I would not mess with a Thailand.
No.
What's the term? Thai.
Thai.
Just I guess it's Thai. I guess it's
Yeah.
plural. I would not mess with a Thai person. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's move on real quick.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about the Patriots off season, and I know a lot of people.
There haven't been any like big blockbuster moves.
Well, the Pats
to the
they've been making a lot of moves. So they
Really?
got Danny Shelton from the Browns. They've been trading. They've been giving up some draft picks now
Yeah.
in the future. So they got Jason McCourty, Devin McCourty's brother from the Browns.
Yeah.
They got Danny Shelton from the Browns. They got Adrian Claiborne, defensive end from the Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
They got Cordell Patterson, wide receiver,
Yeah.
kick returner from the Raiders. I don't know. There might be someone else there. I think it was like a small, I think it was an old tackle or something. But
It's the one acquisition I was very disappointed they didn't do.
what?
Danny Woodhead.
Yeah, I mean, he's retiring.
Yeah,
he's
he's
had
retired.
a lot of injuries the past year, over the past couple of years. So, but no, I want to talk about the Patriots, and I know there's a lot of Patriot haters out there. Whether you're a hater, you're an admirer, or whatever your background is, I think this offseason in particular has got a lot of really cool headlines. Yeah, I'm not supposed to get a text. There's a lot of cool headlines
Yeah.
because the Patriots, the time is dwindling,
Mm-hmm.
right? The time of Brady is going. No matter, I don't care. He might be a god or not, but he's not gonna. He's on his way out. And I'm coming out with a blog post today about it. Yeah, it's a long one too. Because I was thinking about it, right? And originally I was like, okay, I'm just gonna write about quarterback prospects, and I got so sidetracked on this past season because a lot of people might not realize this, but a lot of really diehard Patriots fans will understand. This past year was so bizarre. It was a really, really weird year, and even for the Patriots, a team that's just surrounded by controversy.
Yeah.
They're always in the spotlight because they're dominant. Even for the Patriots who are used to it by now, even for the fans who are used to it, this year was just weird. It was a weird year. You look at the Garoppolo trade, and then you had the Seth Wickersham story that came out, and even you saw it in that group chat we're in. All the kids, all the guys from Boston were like, "This is all BS," and we're freaking out. And then you had Alex Guerrero, Brady's trainer and guru, his health guy, his fitness guy, was kicked out of the team facilities. And then you had even right down to the Butler benching in the Super Bowl. If Butler plays that game, if he's involved with that game, it could have been the difference. It's really naive to think he wouldn't have made a difference. He would have made 100% difference. Now, would the outcome have been different? I don't know. But it would have gave the Pats a substantially better chance of winning. It made no sense. Let's start with the first one, right? So you have Garoppolo being traded. That was
no one
wild.
saw coming.
No
one saw coming.
And it didn't make any damn sense. It didn't.
No.
And even if you want to sit there and say, okay, well, Brady could stick around longer, Garoppolo wants to be a starter, even if you look at that point, why wouldn't they have shopped him earlier in the offseason and got more from it?
Yeah.
Instead, they waited so long. And the big piece there is people go, oh, well, he was going to be a free agent.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to resign, so might as well trade him and get a second-round pick. That might be true, but you could have gotten more from him if you did it in the offseason. So that Seth Wickersham story. There's two ways you can, people right off the bat, we're going to, Bostonians, right off the bat, we're going to say, I'm not listening to any of this. This guy has a history against the Patriots. I know in 2015, he had an article about Deflategate, Spygate. And so right off the bat, the guy's got a bad rep in Boston. People hear that and go, I don't want to listen to this. And unfortunately, and ESPN's done a lot of had a lot of baloney stories. They've had a lot of skeptical topics.
Yeah.
Right. But I think I don't think you can just take an article and be like, I don't believe this.
Yeah.
And the interesting part, the really weird part, is the Patriots deny it, like everything. The Pats say this is not true. Seth Wickersham says this is 100% true.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. He was in Seth Wickersham. One of the things I was reading was he was saying one day, right? Because there will inevitably be a book about the Patriots that comes out, and it's going to be crazy. And he said the chapter about this season, will be unlike any chapter in that book.
Yeah.
He was like this. He's like, and people go, well, why are all the sources anonymous? No
one's gonna give their name.
No one in the Patriots organization are going to sit there, or former players, or no one's going to say, yeah, you can use my name, because they're ripping on the team, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not sitting there saying, and I can look at this two ways and say I can look at it from a Patriots fan's perspective and be like, I don't want to listen to this, or I can actually be a scholar and say, okay, I think there is some clout here, and I think there is. I think there's definitely a feud in that locker room. Now, so you look at Garoppolo, I think, and one of the things I wrote about in my post that's coming out is I think there's two components. There's a long-term complications and there's short-term complications. When you look at the Garoppolo trade, I think Bill Belichick had a guy for the future. I think he possessed Garoppolo, realized this guy is the shit. This kid can be good. And I think he was saying, and I don't think no one expected Brady to be what he is right now. He's 41. It's an MVP year and one of the best years of his career. The guy's 41.
Yeah.
So I think Belichick was expecting a drop off and was like, okay, I could drop Brady and get Garoppolo in there. Because whatever, anyone who sits there and goes, Brady's more important or Brady will never get traded, that's baloney. Yeah. Belichick is a cold bastard. And that's what makes him such a great coach. He
holds no emotion with it.
He doesn't. It's all business. And anyone who questions it, the minute Belichick deems Brady not like
adequate,
or just not necessary, you bet your ass he's going to be gone. Yeah. So I think that was right off the bat. I think do I think he wanted to trade Brady or something? No. But I think it got really complicated, and then they trade Prescence, right? They rolled out this year with no backups, which was bizarre. You have the Wickersham story, and then even recently you have the Instagram, and people read into it, right? It was a post by Gronk dedicated to Danny Amendola because Amendola signed with the Dolphins, and in one of the lines he says is be free, be happy, and that's 100% a reference to how Belichick runs the program. And I just think it was a really weird year. And I was reading into it, and there's totally a feud there. And do I think Belichick threw the game on purpose, the Super Bowl? No, obviously not. But I think it was kind of a statement. I think that's one of my possible takeaways was maybe Belichick was making a statement. So, but nonetheless, you look on it, this draft, when a quarterback's called by the Patriots, that quarterback's going to be in the likely position of replacing Tom Brady. Yeah, we thought it was going to be with Garoppolo, but Brady decided no, I'm going to wait it out. Brady's contract's up in 2019 unless they restructure this offseason. Unless they restructure, this offseason, he's going to be gone after that year. I think that's no doubt. And that's through some of this, even this little, and there's so much into it. And you can say people overlook it. And and I know that's what one of the things Nick was saying. I was like, I think people are just overlooking it or just, looking way too into it. They're not, because it's very warranted because it's the Patriots. The teams, of course people are going to freak out about it because there is and will never be a sports team. Yeah. The past 17 years, it's been unfathomable.
It's been a wild ride for you being a Patriots fan. And it's been a wild ride just seeing that seeing occur through the NFL.
And I think, as much hate as they get, I think in 20 years, people are going to look back and be like, dude, that was unreal. Yeah. Like that, what the hell was that?
No one's ever going to believe the story of a 6th-round pick. No. No one's ever going to believe just the Tuck rule.
And even what you sit there and say, like, when you garner a certain amount of hate, and and people are just that envious of you.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's not without reason. It's because you're doing something right. In all honesty, if everyone's freaking out and hates you, you did something substantial. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And but I mean, I was looking at some of these quarterback prospects in the draft, and it's just interesting, man. Like who's gonna be the next guy to take over?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna watch some of the prospects. It's hard to know, right? Because you can watch film and you can see all the combine clips you want, but for a quarterback, it's different. There's no position like in sports.
Yeah.
You gotta. None of that means you can command a
You are a conductor.
Yeah.
You are a conductor to a symphony. That's what the quarterback position really is.
And you can be this really smart. You can have a great arm, be able to make any throw, but if you don't have a certain persona in the locker room, if you don't command a presence, and if you don't have a commanding presence in a huddle, it doesn't mean anything. Like you have to find a dude who's just like. He needs to have a great work ethic, and he has to be super competitive, and he has to have respect. Yeah. He has to be a guy who the teammates can look at him like, oh, this dude's. I want to lead this guy. Yeah. I mean, I want this guy to lead us. So like, there's so much into it, and there's so much that like fans can actually see. Because I think quarterback, I think the biggest component is the interviews. I think that's huge. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting draft nonetheless.
Interesting time.
Yeah, I mean, why don't we can wrap it up?
Yeah, I think we should wrap it up.
Yeah, I need to go take drop a deuce. So, you've been listening to the Roundup podcast. Stay tuned, and next Wednesday we'll be on the same time. Yeah. Hopefully, we'll have no snow that time.